So hi everyone, you can see we're back here today and these are the gauntlets that I'm going to be showing you how to make. So this is the process video to go with the green arrow if you want to make your gauntlets. It's completely up to you, but yeah, we're going to be showing you how to make these today, and what you'll need first is maybe a marker and cardboard or EVA foam. So that's completely up to you. A pair of sharp scissors is optional, but as I say, a marker, cardboard or EVA foam. I'm working from Peltax, but cardboard will work just as well if it's pretty thin, you can bend it, and also two templates. So first of all, what you'll want to do is make up two templates. You can do it from paper, and you'll want a forearm piece, so something that's going to wrap around your forearm. Now again, this can be done from a piece of paper if you want to draw that out. Two 15cm zips, this is optional. You can use Velcro, you can use elasticated straps, or you can just make it to fit. But what we're going to be doing is actually putting the zipper down the wrist piece, and that's what we're going to be doing. But also you're going to need a wrist piece. So you can see this is just a smaller piece to go at the top of your wrist. And yeah guys, that's the two templates. Get a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard, thin card, completely up to you. I had a voice hiccup there, you heard it. But yeah, these two pieces are going to come together to cover your whole forearm, and that's going to give you your nice gauntlet shape. Okay, also the zips are optional. You can use Velcro or elasticated straps. Mini glue gun and a big glue gun. I'm using the mini one, but they are necessary if you want to get a good adhesive like Gorilla Glue. That's also optional. Any good adhesive like glue will work, but again, take your cardboard or EVA foam, and then take your paper templates or your card templates of whatever your forearm piece is, and start to draw that out. Now again, labeling your pieces will also be brilliant. You can see I'm drawing this, place the right piece on the back, and then I would flip it over onto the front and draw the left piece. You wouldn't draw them the same way, but just cut it out. And that's you guys. Thank you so much for watching so far, and here we are with the rest of the video. So once you've cut all your pieces, again you'll want to label them. Honestly, it will save you a lot of time in the end process. I actually did look at some quite a few times. So one's the left and the other one, and please don't judge me right here, I drew the G backward. So yeah, I was writing backwards, but that's a skill. It still spells right if you think about it, R-I-E-H-T. Anyway, always label your pieces guys, because in the end process I checked myself and had to double check myself a lot of the times. Right here I just place the left piece on the front, not on the back, and draw my right piece. Okay, so you wouldn't draw any other pieces the same way if they are maybe shaped differently, or if they're supposed to go a certain way. So you see I place front to front on each piece, and then I just start to cut off any excess. Make sure all your pieces are shaped up and they are even, because in the end process you did cut them to fit with your templates. So yeah, we have both our right pieces and our left pieces. You can do a 3-piece gauntlet set if you want to go completely mental and do a 4. You can do any amount of shapes that you want and then build on top of it like we're going to do, but always double check and make sure they fit. You can see I have some wiggle room in my gauntlets. That's because I am going to be wearing the jacket underneath. So yeah, you'll always want to make sure you have some space to move around. Both pieces fit together and they are going to be shaping up nicely. Always be checking, make sure your pieces fit. If you have to recut and resize some pieces, it's always better too guys. So yeah, here we are, and we have both pieces. Now if you want, this is optional if you're using coloured EVA foam. This I used to do with cardboard, it works just as well. Some thin cardboard. What I've done is just cut some green fabric, that's green polyester. Cut a slightly bigger shape for each piece, and that's to wrap around the back. And yeah, I'll show you the process of me doing that with a hot glue gun, making some various cuts right here, and that's just to wrap the fabric actually around the piece itself. I do it for all the armor pieces, the masks, all the logos, the badges. So yeah, you can spray paint, you can color. I've heard a lot of people maybe plastic dipping, all that kind of good stuff, maybe sub dyeing any kind of pieces that you have. But here I just make various cuts in the corners, place some hot glue on the back, and then just fold the fabric right over. If you want to cut off any excess fabric that's going to be in your way, go for it. I like this process, but it takes a very long time. Sometimes it can be very disheartening. You have to maybe know your way around, some cuts, some shapes. But yeah, just watch me do it all in the straight corners. I just make some various cuts, cut off all the excess, place some hot glue on the back. You can see now you have to maybe pull on tight on the fabric to make sure you get it all nice in unison around the back, but it looks really good. I only use a lighter for the edges, so I only use any frayed edges or any fabric that's overlapping. I would slightly burn it, and that would make it into a nice corner or a nice point. I wouldn't say this is optional, you don't have to do this, but yeah, that's technically what I do for every kind of piece when using the fabric. And the labeling is, again, the best way to go. You'll always want to label your pieces, guys. So right here you can see it wraps around my forearms, give it a nice texture and tone. You can spray paint yours, and thank you for watching the video so far. So once you have both your pieces sprayed, colored, whatever way you want, if you're going to use the fabric, brilliant, completely up to you, but make sure they fit and there's no creases or anything going on. But if you want to draw a line to actually put them together, right here I'm using the small glue gun. You can use any kind of good adhesive that you want, but if you want to draw a line to where they match up, while I'm gluing it on though, I actually bend them, give it a nice curve so that when the glue does harden, it'll actually hold that curve for the better shape. You know, overall it'll be maybe better to fit around my wrist putting on the zipper. You'll want to maybe have a bend in it while putting on the glue, again, so that when it does harden it'll hold that nice curve shape. And right here, this is actually, I fold in the corner, so I just put 2 lines of glue here in the corner and fold it in. This is so I can actually bend my forearm. This is just a simple tiny trick. You can do it for whatever way you want. You can see right now, if that line had have been coming across, I wouldn't be able to bend my forearm in the gauntlets. Simple tricks like this are easy fixes. You know, if you made a piece too big, maybe fold in the corner or another piece of it, and that'll help you overall in the better shape. So you can see here, if I hadn't folded in that corner, I wouldn't have been able to bend. Right here for the zips, now again, this is optional. I think it's the best way to make zips. Shout out to Mr. Paltron on Instagram. His link is being in the description below for this technique. I saw him, he uses a zipper for the forearm. And just my luck, these templates match up to the 15cm forearm, you know, zip. So yeah, that's perfect for me if you want to go for elasticated straps. If you want to just use some Velcro so that they strap on round, go for it, guys. What I'm doing is just gluing each side of the zipper to the other opposite side, and that's it. You can just see now you want to lay it down flat, make sure the hot glue settles on one side, and that's it. If you want to use another good adhesive, I hear Gorilla Glue or any, I wouldn't use normal PVA glue, that would be terrible, but that's just going to fold on round and attach to the other side. Again, you can actually cut these zippers, so if you make yours smaller or bigger, you can just cut off the excess off the zipper. Here I place some glue at the top, hold it for a slight minute, and then unzip the zipper. So you'll actually want to not have the zip, you know, all the way up. Once you're gluing on the opposite side, you can actually zip down the zipper, and it'll make it a hell of a lot easier to glue it onto the other side. I figured it out 2 or 3 sets of gauntlets into the process to actually unzip it. So yeah, completely up to you, but it'll make it a lot easier. It fits perfect now around my forearm. You can see it gives it a good amount of coverage for a gauntlet, and I can actually bend here in my elbow. So you'll always want to maybe leave a point or an open curve area so that you can bend in these. Yeah guys, make it out of EVA foam, cardboard, thin cardboard or thin card, and you can always reinforce it with double layers. Build it up, make it bulkier, which we're about to do now in the next stage. So it just zips up and down here. So these zips can be purchased online or in a local art shop. Basically online they come very, very cheap in different various colors, different sizes, and again you can cut off any excess if you don't need it. So yeah, thank you for watching so far everyone, and these actually turned out a lot better than what I thought. So once you've wrapped both gauntlets or sprayed them, coloured them, toned them, whatever way you want, then this is the actual additional design aspect. So if you've watched the jacket video on how to make the shoulder pieces, this is the same thing of what I did on a bigger scale, just cut bigger pieces, and these are actually labelled. You can see L1, that's going to go at the top, and that is 2 pieces that are going to be glued together to actually emphasize, you know, instead of having them just there for a design aspect, they're actually going to be armor pieces. And this actually adds a lot to your designs, guys. Honestly, if you want to thicken up, you know, some design pieces or some armor patterns, it adds so much to the cosplay. It adds so much, you know, just to the simple base. But if you want to just, you know, you can use the base simply for any kind of cosplay, Assassin's Creed, a Black Widow. You know, if you want to build on around it, you know, with little canisters or electric shock things, Completely up to you, any says, but you can see both of these pieces are going to be glued, one on top and one on the bottom. That's why they are labeled L1 and L2. So yeah, just always want to be labeling your pieces, make sure you want to do that. And then this is all the right side. Also there's going to be a wrist piece. So this is actually the smaller wrist piece that I drew. I didn't like it, so I actually drew a slightly bigger piece that you're going to see. You can go any way. You can see you can make it, a bit longer if you want to bring it out into the wrist more. I thought Green Arrow, should have a lot of points going on within his quiver hand. All that kind of stuff, guys. So completely up to you on all your design aspects, but I think it adds a lot more to it. You can see the bigger piece at the bottom right there, but that's just all the pieces for the right side. And yeah, once you're done with all that, again, these are going to be all glued together. Just to emphasize, so you want to cut doubles of each piece. So they're that bit thicker, but you can make them plain. This was the smaller piece that I got the shape from the wrist. So this was actually what the wrist shape came from, throw that away. And this is actually the bigger wrist piece. So this is just going to wrap around. This can be used for a Wonder Woman gauntlet. Again, just change up the size a bit, change up the design slightly, and you can use these for Wonder Woman braces. Completely up to you guys. So just going to glue two of these pieces together. That's just to build them up, make them that bit thicker. And I always thought about it, I was always rushing the cosplay, rushing the costume to see what it would look like. Then when you actually stop and think about the design aspects and you're going through all this trouble of making it, you may as well make it the best it can be. So I just thought, doubling up all the pieces of what you want your eyes to drag to. If you've watched the Green Arrow jacket video, you see I did the exact same thing with the shoulder pads and they turned out amazing. So this is us with the additional design pieces. So using the same process of wrapping the fabric around the armor pieces like I've done with a gauntlet base. I do this for all the other various costumes, guys. Honestly, it works out perfect. The texture, the tone, the color of a fabric can make a piece look a lot better. You can spray paint yours, add the weathering to it. You can see the various same cuts are made just with a lot of straight lines. Like I showed you at the start of the video, this is the finished gauntlet piece. So you can go with any design you want. I'm about to build up on this a bit more afterward with some metal bolts, some weathering, maybe some strapping to it. Make one a bit more emphasized than the other because he would have his, arrow pull hand, then he would have his quiver hand. So yeah, completely up to you. And I would say look at the new 52 designs, they are amazing. But yeah, we're about to place some hot glue on the back of half of the piece. I'm using a small hot glue gun and the glue dries pretty quick, so I have to act fast. You can see here I place it on half of the piece, press down, but I actually put my hand inside the gauntlet itself and press against the surface. So with my hand on one side, I press against it, and on the other I make sure I reinforce that with the other hand. You'll want to keep that nice curve motion going on. It's just a bit of tip, maybe if you press too hard it'll squash down. And also what factors in, I use the table as well to roll it over. What also factors in is the amount of glue that you use. So you can see here I put a good amount of glue, but not too much around the edges. I place it on the inside slightly. I don't want the glue when I press down, it'll all smudge out the sides. You'll not get the nice texture and tone that you want. It'll look flawlessly, you can see I go around here 3 times, but I don't place it on the actual edge. I place it on slightly on the inside and then press down hard. So then when you press, you'll actually just want to place it down, let it sit on top, and then once you know there is no glue marks around the edges, you'll maybe press a bit harder so that the glue settles and hardens. And yeah, it'll also harden into that nice curve shape, it'll stiffen up. If you've used the fabric technique, I would say glue down any of the excess fabric in the back that's going to flap around. You want the piece to be secure and flat as possible. So again, just place small amounts of hot glue around the edges, not on the actual sides themselves, and press down lightly. That's it, guys. Honestly, the hot glue, you can use Gorilla Glue. Wouldn't say use any PVA glue or stuff like that. A good adhesive is the best form. Once it all settles down, you'll want to hold it in place for around a minute or two, listen to some music, watch a movie. I have a lot of voice hiccups today, I apologize. But yeah, place maybe I have to get it in some awkward positions. That's where the small hot glue gun came into play very good. So everything works out in the end. The small glue gun helped me get into some awkward positions, but once it's all done, you can see I have all the armor pieces glued to the actual gauntlet base itself. So if this has helped you in any sort of way, guys, please let me know down below. I have the pair of gauntlets here, they match up perfectly, and as I say, I'm about to add on to these with some metal bolts that you can pick up in art shops. I'll show you here at the end of the video. and some strapping, maybe some weathering if you want to go into the real detail work of making one of them look a bit weathered than the other, because he does have his, again as I say, his arrow pull hand and then his actual drawing hand. So yeah, those are both the gauntlets. You can use these for Batman, Nightwing, add on the fins, use them for Damian Wayne, Red Arrow if you want to go. I just thought that Arrow should have that point design, and all the arrows, they will actually, the arrow design and all that points will fold into the armor. You can see they fit perfect, and I really do emphasize once you double up your armor padding, it'll just make it look maybe that bit better. It emphasizes a lot on the gauntlet shape itself, and I can bend at the forearm as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Here I am wearing the gauntlets with the jacket, and you have been awesome. Love you guys. So, hi everyone, I'll actually just turn that light off because it's like blinding a bit. So I'm just watching Tommy see his streams on right now. Fair play, Tommy. So these are basic, let's see if that goes in. So you can see that's cycling gloves. I got these in Poundland, my local discount store. On the back there is, I think it's some Spanish or whatever. So yeah, they're cheap, they are £1. Honestly, they are light green, so I'm going to armour them up, darken them in. But you can see the gauntlets right now. They just go around here. I'm about to actually put a piece in here because I have some creasing right in here around the wrist area, so I might just put another armour piece so that covers that up. But you can just see that I can bend my forearm, I can do everything. They go well with the actual arrow, coming down here. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If this helped you build any of your gauntlets, you can make Nightwing, Robin, you can go for Red Arrow, Daredevil. If you want to armor him up and make his gauntlets. If you want to go for a Moon Knight, just make the base of whatever color and then armor that up from there. You can see the wrist piece brings it into the glove a bit better. If I'm just going to put some green armor pieces here, some green knuckle pieces, a green piece coming down here. So yeah, this is perfect for me. I may be just adding some armoring down here on the actual bicep portion, but I love how it looks. Those arrows emphasize really good. You can see it better on the other side. They cast the shadow and stuff. So yeah, guys, if you want to go check out part 1 on how to make the actual jacket base, I will put up the hood right now. You can just see. And yeah, I'm about to actually I'll attach the quiver and I'll show everything else. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you're amazing. Please subscribe and comment. For me, everyone here at Ireland, I've been John Hay trying to be Oliver Queen, and I've showed you how to make his gauntlets. They just look amazing. Bye guys.